Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max, how you doing tonight, my brother?
Doing good, one. We had a stressful event, didn't we, brother? But it's good.
Who had a Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you were talking about like the Eagles or something. Yeah, we did.
No, that was a good game though.
Yeah. Um look, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, all that good stuff. Had an amazing weekend of football. Besides my team. My team sucks, just FYI, you know. Um It's gotten to the point, Max, where I don't even put the Raiders on the big screen no more. They're in a little screen. That's how bad it's been.
Mm,
Yeah.
not a lot of primetime games, huh?
Nah, not a lot of joy and excitement, you know. But
Sorry.
hey, what are you gonna do, right? Um, is there anywhere that you want to particularly start, Max?
Well,
With
I just don't want to start with Monday Night Football. I don't have anything to say. The Cowboys were who we thought they
they
were.
suck.
The
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Fire Mike McCarthy 2024, 2025.
On a side
I think
note,
go ahead.
why wouldn't you start Trey Lance?
I don't know. They're stupid. Why not just give him a chance? I mean, he must suck. He must suck.
Obviously, like what the fuck,
Like
bro? Cooper Rush, really? What are we doing?
I am not sure. This to me is like the last 4 games of like Tim Tebow's rookie year with Trey Lance. Like, just throw him out there, bro. If he sucks, no big deal.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm not sure. I think we should start with obviously the game of the week, Kansas City versus Buffalo. I'm curious to know what you thought. This was a great game. You know, it always is when these two guys play. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I wonder what you think. You know, as you're not really a Chiefs hater, but you like hate them.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to know what you thought.
I mean, they were bound to lose. You know, if there was a game to lose, it was this one. They still had a chance to win it. As crazy as that sounds,
But what
uh,
stuck out to you?
what stuck out is I felt like Amari Cooper was a big difference maker in this one. I don't even know what his stats were, but I do think the fear of a guy winning one on the outside was a real threat. And as far as Kansas City goes, like I think their offense is still an issue. Like DeAndre Hopkins kind of got locked up. Like it was a really good matchup for the Bills. And they took it with the right approach. I think one of the best things that you've seen in this game was on the 4th and 2. Of course, Josh Allen and the Bills go for it, and he runs it in for a touchdown. Like that's what great players do. Like that's why we're always praising the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, because it's plays like that where it's like, what did the Chiefs do like wrong on that? I felt like it was just a great player making a great play call as far as or play decision, should I say, and going for it and wanting to win the football game. That's how you got to play the Chiefs. You can't play to tie or you can't play to lose. You got to play to win. So I love the mentality that Sean McDermott did and the offensive coordinator. All around, just I think it's a great win for the Bills.
I thought the Bills played with a certain edge. One, that's for sure. I thought they came out there, kind of reminded me of last year when the 49ers beat on the Eagles. Obviously, a different game, but they came out with such an edge that I thought it was going to get a little ugly to start the game. But the Chiefs just weathered the storm because they're a great football team. Look, Buffalo, you can win this game all you want to me. You know how much I've liked the Bills in years past, but I'm not buying into the fakeness. You win this game, no big deal. You've done it before. You got to do it when the time counts because you know as well as I do, one. Week 10 preparation isn't playoff preparation. It's not. And to me, there were certain things about Buffalo, like where'd the run game? Where was the run game on? Did you see it?
No, not really.
When you play the like really good teams, they take something away, and it was just really Josh Allen centric. And I get the defense came out to play, they did, but like we've seen this before, right? We've seen regular season Buffalo gets their ass, and then they lay an egg in the postseason. So
Yeah.
look, it's a good feeling. I feel like the Chiefs took off some pressure from going undefeated. They're trying to get to a third Super Bowl. They're a veteran team. They know what's going on. They still have Patty Mahomes. So look, it's a great game for the Bills. You want to win this one, obviously, but it's not the end of the world for either team. It didn't move the needle for me. Did it for
Mm.
you? Like now are you like now the Bills are they're
No,
it.
not like that. I feel like the Bills do have a slight edge. I feel like going into this one this year with this particular Chiefs team. Now the Chiefs team may look different come playoff time. You know, they're gonna get Pacheco back, Hopkins getting into the playbook a little bit more, Worthy getting some games under his belt more. So that is a factor, but I do like how the Bills match up with them more than any other year because I do feel like the Bills are pretty balanced right now. And they're probably as balanced as I would say like that Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs year. And I kind of feel like that's what they're doing. Like Khalil Shakir is playing the Cole Beasley role, and then Amari Cooper is playing the Stephon Diggs role, like in the offense. And we'll see what happens. I get what you're saying. Like, show me playoff time, and then I'll believe it. But the
And I mean, I
Chiefs,
guess they're missing Keon Coleman. I guess you could make
yeah,
that argument. Like, he's a big body. I'll say this: Shakir adds something to their offense. Like to me, I would kind of make a note if I'm a DC to stop him because I feel like you take away some of that shit, they don't stay ahead of the chains as much as they do. Because that's when Buffalo's in trouble. Like, I mean, most teams in general,
right.
you get them in the 3rd and 10, the conversion rate goes way down. And how many times on first down was it bubble screen, second and 4? It's
Yeah,
like, oh, no big deal.
yeah. But you gotta love Josh Allen. I mean, that run at the end, bro.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. You can argue that. Like, if you're a Chiefs fan, you're like, hey, he made a fucking great play. We get that ball back, we're probably winning because we're driving down the field the whole game. So I get it from both sides. I really hope that we see that playoff matchup. I want to see it again. We all want to see it. Safe to say, Max, are they still the two best teams in the AFC? Obviously, you got the Ravens, you got the Steelers, you got the Chargers coming into the mix now. Do you feel confident that these are the two best teams
No,
still?
no. I think the Chiefs are one of the 2 best teams, and the second team is a mix between Buffalo, Baltimore, and I wouldn't say the Chargers, in all honesty. I
Steelers?
wouldn't.
Well, let's
I
talk
would
about the
think
Steelers. Let's talk about the Steelers.
yeah, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, man. Ugh, what a game.
What'd you think?
I think Baltimore just really left some meat on the bone. Like, I don't want to make the excuse, but I was shocked to see Justin Tucker miss 6. He left 6 points off the board. 6 points off the board. They win the game. I just feel like Baltimore, like you said, that defense is just something's missing. It's just I think they're the first ranked rush defense, which is typical Baltimore, but they're 30th against the pass, which is kind of crazy to think about how talented they are. They have so many good players. It's just this is Baltimore just leaves something to be desired. And I guess you could just say, make the case, Derrick Henry fumbles for the first time in like 3 years, gives spots some 3 points early. They come back. I'm not worried about Baltimore, but it just doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth because to me, like Baltimore has to win a game in the playoffs, like against it. Like, so let's just put against the Chiefs, right? Because that's the standard we measure every team against the Chiefs. To me, I think that for Baltimore to beat the Chiefs have to shoot themselves in the foot. I don't think Baltimore can just go out there and beat the Chiefs. And games like this reinforce that belief.
Yeah, look, the Steelers somehow, some way, like they do with every game, but it seems like they do it the best way when they play the Ravens. They find a way to Steeler it up. Like that's the best way I can describe it. Like we're gonna slow down this game. You're gonna make the mistakes. Yeah, we probably won't score on offense, but hey, we're gonna have big splash plays. Our kicker's gonna make every fucking field goal, and our defense is gonna make incredible plays. Patrick Queen, incredible plays on the day. TJ Watt, as advertised, he was making plays. Mika Fitzpatrick showed up. Like so many guys on that Pittsburgh Steelers defense was just making play after play. And I come away from this game from Baltimore like I'm kind of sick of it. I am. I'm kind of sick of it. I think a lot of people have that Buffalo game in their head a lot of dominance, like the Cowboy game. Like they've had some really dominant performances this year. But if you really look
They
at
laid
it,
some eggs. They
yeah,
laid some eggs as
they've
well.
look, they lost to the Raiders, they've lost to the Steelers, and let's be honest, they could have easily lost to the Bengals twice. Let's just be real. Both of those games were winnable from the Bengals. So it's like, to me, there's an issue with the defense, like you said, and I don't trust them. I don't. They can look really good on Sundays against the bad teams, but I don't trust them going forward. I do trust the Bills more than the Ravens. I think the Bills, I can trust them to get it together and do some stuff on defense. Like I just don't trust them. I can't do it. I'm done with them. They're a good
Uh,
team. They'll probably win fucking 52-0 next week. It's not
the
gonna
the
matter.
Ravens are not outclassed by any team, but they're not this dominant force. They're not.
No.
They simply are not.
Yeah. And on the Steelers side, so they're number one in the AFC North, Max.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I do think they're a fucking pain in the ass. You know who they kind of
They are.
they remind me of a little bit lesser version of what the Titans were in their heyday. Obviously, they don't have Derrick Henry, but that hard-nosed defense, great coaching,
Yeah.
and their offense just does enough. I know
They should have gone for it on a bunch of those fourth downs, but Mike Tomlin just took field goals and they won. Who knew?
right.
Who knew points won?
It just seems like Mike Tomlin be making the right fucking
Yeah.
decisions, bro.
You know what? You know what the coolest thing about their offense was when they had to run out the clock and they brought in Justin Fields, and I was like, oh, he's keeping the ball for sure, and he's fresh, he's gonna spring for him, and he got a big gain, and I was like, that's a great wrinkle.
Yeah.
I was just wanted to tip my hat to their OC.
Yeah. And Russ, I know they didn't score a touchdown, Max, but I don't think Russ was like the main issue. I just
One
think,
bad play, one really bad play, but other than
yeah,
that, nothing.
it's not like how you see, like, I don't know, like
Will
Chicago or
Levis.
something. Yeah, Will Levis, like bad quarterback play as far as like not scoring points at all, like just not getting anywhere. Like, I don't know. Watch out for the Steelers. Maybe they'll come back down to earth, but man, they're just a fucking pain in the fucking ass, bro. Absolute pain in the ass. Let's stay on the AFC side. I want to talk about the Chargers, Max, because this was arguably the game of the week,
It
performance
was.
wise. It was fucking insane. I was watching this game with very close eyes. I had a fantasy matchup in this where I was playing against Justin Herbert. And when I tell you that I was scared shitless, bro, the way that Justin Herbert was playing in that first half, it was fucking incredible. Like, I was I thought they were gonna blow him out. I thought it was gonna be like 35-0 in this game, the way that the Bengals defense was looking. But
Yeah.
the Bengals came out in the second half and they wrecked shit, dude. And for a second there, Max, we all thought same old Chargers. Same old fucking Chargers. But with Brandon Staley or in the past with Justin Herbert, they don't win this game. There's no
No.
fucking way they win this game. So the fact
Mm-mm.
that some of those guys who have been on those teams, the Derwin James, obviously Justin Herbert, these guys remember those losses. They've been there for a couple seasons now. So the fact that they're gaining confidence and win a game like this, I think it's huge, bro. I think it's really, really huge for this team. And am I gonna go so far to say that they're gonna be a real contender? It's like what I said last week. I'm not gonna say that, but they look good. And I think they're a year ahead. They're most definitely a year ahead. I didn't think they were gonna be this good. They're pretty damn fucking good, bro.
I want to say this about my Chargers. Justin Herbert, like, I don't know if this was the game that maybe reminded people that he is in that elite tier of quarterbacks. The arm talent was just on display. And you look at the supporting cast, there's nobody you really write home about, right? Like, I know Quentin Johnson is, I guess as he's a sophomore, right? We should be excited, but we kind of know like he's not the guy. He'll never be.
Mm.
Lab McConkey is an exciting piece. He will be a valuable like receiver in the NFL for a long time, but he's not the guy. And they're kind of doing it with, I don't want to say nobodies, but just He's got a bunch of twos and threes on his team. There's not one great receiver. There's not one difference maker on offense. It's Justin Herbert making ridiculous throws up the seam to Will Disley, like bread in the basket, moving up in the pocket, feet in the air, slinging a ball for a touchdown. He is out of this world, man, and it's just unfortunate because for so long his whole career's been mismanaged from Brandon Staley going for it on fourth down, playoff collapse where he didn't even play that poorly, to just that. I mean, all the hype for Trevor Lawrence, and I mean, this is the quarterback like I kind of thought Trevor Lawrence would be. You know what I mean? And he was kind of a weird guy coming out of Oregon. He's just out of this world. And for the Chargers, they play tough nosed defense. They're a bastard to score on in the red zone. They're well coached, and they could win a playoff game. They could take the Chiefs to the fourth quarter in the divisional round. They can be a pain in the ass, and they will be.
Yeah.
And if you give Herbert some help, because look, Juan, I don't know if you agree with me. The O line's not that great. The running backs are fine. The receivers are nothing special. You get some special guys with him, sky's the limit. It really is.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting when you see a team that has the guys. Like what are you going to do?
Can I ask you why does Herbert not get the respect? Or does he? And I just don't see it.
I think it's I don't know. I think it's the part of it is the Chargers, how many close games that they have lost. It's all about the wins. It's all about
Like
the wins, Max.
watching that game, you're not like Burrow's in another class. You're not. There's no way.
Fuck no. And we've been saying, but I know you're not talking to me directly. I know you're just talking about other people, but
and I know Burrow went to a Super Bowl. I know he's went the distance with the Chiefs, but like you go back and just pull up that Raiders drive. Like I don't know how many other quarterbacks could have done that shit. And it's like his team shooting him in the foot, 10 yards forward, 15 yards back.
Yeah.
And just laser after laser, like run. And he's not a statue. Like he's a great movement.
He was showing it. He was showing it. He was running all over the place on Sunday night. Look, the Chargers are 2 games behind of the Chiefs. I believe they play them one more time. We'll see what they can do. Their defense, I know you say that they're a pain in the ass to score in the red zone. A lot of that was in the first half. They played amazing in the first half, but I do think there were some things that got uncovered in that game when you stretch out the field and you terrorize them with their corners. I don't think their corners are all that good.
Oh no, but I mean, one, you look at their team on defense. Are you like, God damn? Like Baltimore's like, you got 7 great players. They're not. Mm-hmm. Like to me, this is who the difference makers on their defense: Derwin James, Khalil Mack, Deion Henley, and I like Tuli Tuipulotu.
Yeah, both too.
Like I get, but do you see him pop like in years past? I don't.
Years past, yeah. And Khalil Mack didn't even play on.
I know he didn't play this game. Yeah. I'm just saying, like you look at like they got Gilman, they got Christian Fulton, they got all these like scrappy dudes. It's like, I mean, Chris Collins, the glaze was on.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this is what Jim Harbaugh wanted, and for everyone.
I told you it was coming. I didn't think it would be this good. I was like, they're going to be a pain in the ass all year.
Yeah. They completely switched the identity. Yeah. Let's move on to the Bengals side of this. So I mean, this is heartbreaking. I can't remember.
It's just tough, man. It's just tough for them. They've lost so many one-score games.
We weren't obviously watching football as close as we did. We were very young when it happened. But I think we're seeing like a modern day version of the 2012 Chargers. Was it 2008 Chargers, something like that, where they were number one
in defense, first in offense.
I'm not saying that. First. I'm not saying that the Bengals are good on defense because obviously they're not. They're terrible. But on the offensive side of things, where it's like just Joe Burrow has had a phenomenal touchdown interception ratio, and you look at the list.
Great all year.
Yeah, you look at the list of the guys, Max, that has had his numbers. They're all winning records. It's like Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, like guys who have had great regular seasons, and they're just the fucking team that has a terrible record. It's crazy to think about. Where do they go?
I don't think they're out of it. I don't think they're out of it. They need to play flawlessly. Look, they need to do something on defense, man. The offense is fine. I know they got off to a slow start against the Chargers, but defense is just they've lost a lot of dogs. You know what I mean? Like Trey Hendrickson's still good, but they lost a couple of the big guys in the middle. The linebackers are still solid. The corners have fallen off for sure. Even the safety play's fallen off a little bit. But like if the Chargers miss this year's playoffs, like it's a down year. But I still feel confident in them moving forward. Like with Joe Burrow, they have a chance every year, and it's just they've had a lot of bad breaks, and they lost to good teams. They lost to the Ravens twice, I think. They lost to the Chargers, and a couple of times in the beginning of the year, they got off to that fucking slow start
They
shit,
lost to
and
the
that's what
Chiefs.
happens.
Yeah.
Lost to the Chiefs. They had a surprising loss. I even remember earlier in the year, and you're like, how'd they lose to them? Was
They
the
lost to the
Browns? They lose to the
Patriots.
Browns? Oh, Patriots. That's who it was.
Yeah, week
Like
1.
you can't lose that game. You
Yeah.
can't lose it.
Yeah. Look, the one thing that I'm interested with the Bengals is like, how are they going to go into next year? What kind of mindset? Is it, hey, let's not panic. Let's draft well on the defensive side. Our offense is fine. Let's get the money that maybe we could have paid in T. Higgins. Let's use that on the defense. Let's sign some guys in free agency, get better. Or do they go the route where they panic? They panic and they say,
No,
well, let's
they
fire
won't spend the money.
let's fire, Amaruno. Let's fire Zach Taylor.
They won't do that because then they'll just be paying money to people who aren't there, and they're cheap as hell. They're not going to do that.
We'll see. I can see him firing the
If they
defense
didn't
coordinator.
fire Marvin Lewis after how many playoff losses, and I like Marvin Lewis, good coach. I'm just saying, it's the Bengals. Firing the coach is an overreaction.
What about the defense coordinator?
No, I still like Lou Ulmer. I think you need to give him some talent on that side of the ball.
All right. Let's see what happens with the Bengals, man. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's stay in the AFC West. Okay. I want to talk about the red hot Denver Broncos. All right, Bo Nix.
Jeez, every team.
Yeah. Bo Nix and the Broncos beat down the Atlanta Falcons. And I mean beat down.
Where was the stock in that video? It was the sell, right?
It was a sell. It was a sell on the Broncos.
I feel pretty vindicated by that video. This is exactly why you don't trust this team. You don't trust the Atlanta Falcons at all. They're a middle of the pack team. One, I think it's easy. They might make the playoffs. Worst division in football. Typical. It's just, excuse me, sorry. It's the same old shit with them. It's like 1 week hot, 1 week cold, and they have the Denver Broncos aren't that much more talented than them. It's just Kirk Cousins, man. It's Kirk Cousins. It's the defense taking a step back. Sean Payton had their number today. Adam.
Yeah, I know it's the Falcons, and it's hard to judge it, because they did play like fucking dog shit. But I was thoroughly impressed with Bo Nix. I mean, he's getting better. Every week. He is slinging that shit, bro. And
this quarterback class looks very good.
I want to say this: does he have a chance to win Rookie of the Year with the down?
Why not?
With the downplay of Jaden Daniels?
No. Jaden Daniels doesn't play bad against the Eagles.
Jaden Daniels, from a football perspective, Max, yes, he's not playing all that bad. But you know how the NFL is. It's stats. And Bo Nix is throwing 2 to 3 touchdowns a fucking game now.
I wouldn't go that far, but I will say this. He has definitely been the second best quarterback in this draft by far.
It's facts. Yeah. I agree with that. And to me, can you see them sneaking into that last? Right now, they have the last play. I mean, fuck sneaking.
Yeah.
They have the last playoff spot.
Yeah, I think they could. Yeah. The Bengals are kind of shot themselves in the foot. No one else. Who else is making noise? Like you look at the AFC North, Pittsburgh and Baltimore locked. The other two teams are dead. The Jets are dead. The Bills are locked. I think Miami's dead too. I know they just had a decent win against who they had.
The Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah. Sorry. They're still dead. Jacksonville's beyond dead. Fire your coach. You suck. That's about it. I don't really see another team. AFC South, Houston's got it.
It's hard because
the Colts are the only team alive out of the teams. I feel like everything else is dead.
Yeah, and I like the Broncos out of all those teams. It's crazy to say. They're a really good football team. They have a great defense. Look, I'm gonna eat crow, bro. I didn't like the Broncos coming into this year. I didn't. I thought the whole Bo Nix thing was gonna be like a rough experiment. I kind of in the back of my mind felt like Sean Payton was kind of washed. He's proven otherwise. He's proven otherwise. They look like a great football team, and I quickly, I quickly turned around my mindset on the Broncos as soon as I seen the preseason from Bo Nix. I think my whole tune changed on Bo Nix. I was like, all right, I see something here. Like it's looking like he's gonna be just fine in the NFL. And he's getting better and better every week. All right. I just wanted to give some Bo Nix praise. I'm gonna go see him live next week. I'm gonna be at the game for Raiders and Broncos. So
Sorry.
yeah, I know. In advance, I know. But we'll see. I'm excited to see him live, see that arm live. So shout out to the Broncos. I fucking hate you donkeys, but you guys are good. You guys look good, man. Let's go to the Indianapolis Colts. You brought them up. Okay, so
Can we, instead of doing the Colts, can we just do like a segment on the young quarterbacks of the league?
yeah, why
Can we
not?
just do a little?
Why not?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Anthony Richardson. Let's talk about Caleb. How about Drake May? Throw him in there too.
Yes. So if
Let's
you
start
had to
with
rank,
AR.
let's rank them. Let's rank them. Fuck it.
Okay,
Number one,
like confidence or play from this week.
no. Let's go play throughout. Who? Let me reword this.
Yeah,
Who do
please.
you feel confident if the season were to end today, going into next year? Who do you feel with situation involved, not talent, just situation with the team where they're at? Who do you feel confident in? Number one, Jaden Daniels for me. Number
Okay.
number two, Bo Nix. I think our our,
Yeah.
our first two are going to be the same, and I
Okay.
think this is going to get a lot of controversy. But Drake May's
But
three.
you
Drake
forgot about
May's
CJ Stroud.
no. I'm
Or
talking
it's
just
rookies? Oh, rookies.
rookies,
Oh,
just
okay.
rookies.
Sorry.
I'm going Drake May three. I don't even think it's
Yeah,
close.
for sure. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'll say this. We'll go back to AR. Drake May. Again, he just impresses me every freaking week. And like, I know people are gonna say like, "Oh man, he threw that horrible pick," but like the ball wasn't that bad. The receiver didn't look around. They're a young team. They're bad. Like that's gonna happen. But every week he kind of just makes game changing plays for them. Like they've been competent. I think you just have to let him get another year, let him build. It kind of makes me say, like, why don't you start him week one? I know they won, but I like what I've seen from Drake May, man. Like that, the mechanics are way better, way cleaner. He has better control over the ball than I saw kind of out of college and even the preseason, the little bit we saw.
I feel I want to just pat us on the back from not wavering off Drake May. Drake May was our second overall quarterback, and I'm really proud of that. I do think we see that these games that he's been playing. Like I think it's obvious. It pops out on the screen. The arm strength, the running ability, the fast fucking
Frame,
throwing, yeah, the frame, the throwing motion. I think he's the whole package. And I think he's going to be a franchise guy for the Patriots. Now, they're going to have to get the coaching situated and they're going to have to get the offense, defense, whatever, talent all around them.
yeah, the roster.
Right.
God damn it.
But this is what we are talking about last week with Caleb Williams. It's like, I know you're in the shitty situation, bro. Like, I don't like Eberflus. They just fired Shane Waldron. I know things are a mess. Your
Hey,
offensive
guess
line
what, Juan?
sucks.
What happened after they fired him? Looked way better.
They look better. They did. But this is my thing.
Hey, they were gonna win that game. You can't be too mad at the Bears. They were gonna beat a really good Packers team. You want to be fucking nitpicking, so they blocked the fucking field goal. Life's tough.
To me
Life's
though,
tough in the bigs.
like whether or not they won that game or lost it, that's not the reason why. I still think that their offense left a lot of meat on the bone. And my whole thing is like, what if Drake May is just better than Caleb Williams because he's better in shitty situations? Like, what do we always talk about quarterbacks, Max? Who elevates?
Yeah,
Who elevates guys? Drake May's doing that. Whose situation is better, talent wise? It's
you
fucking
can't.
Caleb.
Kill. Yeah, easy. I feel like the Bears built their offense with flash. Like Roma Dunze's been good, right? Really like him.
Mhm.
It was a luxury pick. You didn't need him. Not at all.
Yeah.
You could have just rolled in with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and just signed Darnell Mooney and freaking said, "Hey, let's get an O line." Like, I feel like that's the thing constantly that just holds them back, how bad they are. And then Caleb, he was much improved, obviously. Like, good. I'm not ready to say Caleb Williams isn't going to be a superstar punt on him. I'm not doing that. But overall, I just think there's some growing up he needs to do. And I'll say this: the one thing that kind of transferred to me is small frame. Small. He's small, just a little bit. Not like Bryce Young, but sometimes maybe it's just my preference. Drake May, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, they just hang in that son of a bitch and they'll let it rip. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb is kind of at that rough point where, he's so talented, he's so gifted, but there's just you have to play ugly sometimes, and he can't really do that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's kind of, who this might turn into? Kind of like a Trevor Lawrence thing. How like Trevor Lawrence, like his rookie year was terrible. I'm not saying Caleb is that bad. I mean, you can look at the
No,
stats.
no,
It
it
may
hasn't been.
it may it
Yeah.
may be as bad. Maybe if we looked at the stats, I don't know them by heart. But the main point that I'm trying to make is that everyone's been waiting for Trevor Lawrence to take that step to be the Justin Herbert, and it's just never happened. It's just like
Yeah.
he's good. He's good. He's solid, but he needs a lot of shit to go his way. And I feel like Caleb might be that guy. It's looking like it, you know. We'll see.
For a quarterback as hyped as him, it hasn't been nearly what either of us would have thought, and we were
Right.
both wrong.
Yeah.
And the situation goes into it. Eberflus isn't that great of a coach. I like him. I like what he's done with the defense, but you did hire Shane Waldron. Your pick, and it's been a bad one. And their offense desperately needs an identity because
Yeah.
they're not really an aired out team. They're not really a run the ball down your throat team.
Yeah. So let's go on AR5. I'm sorry, I didn't specify what we're actually ranking, rookie quarterbacks, but young quarterback, sophomore guy, AR5. Like you said, Max, this is one of the best throwing games we've ever seen from Richardson.
What would you have thought this game? Like, what would you thought he would have played like coming back? I would have thought, oh, this will be a little like more conservative, dink and dunk. But dude, like this was outrageous. Like tight windows, 10-yard dig, and you also see like the guy in my face flick it 40 yards. Got it. I can't believe what I saw. This is like, man, if you're a Colts fan, how are you not like erect?
Right.
Like, how do you not have a tent in your pants after seeing that game?
Yeah, he displayed everything, and he had a great blend of both being a great thrower and still having the ability to run. Like he still had his two rushing touchdowns, like he was still doing stuff on the ground, just wasn't at a ridiculous rate where it's like, all right, dude, like we need you to throw the ball, you know. Um
I think
I
he was 8 for 12 at half with like 100 yards,
Yeah, so he
which
went
was like
he went what,
it wasn't 2
20?
for it wasn't like 2 for 30
Yeah.
or 2 for 14
He
100. I mean, he had a 66% completion rating. I don't really give a fuck about that. 270 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. And the Jets just continue to jet. Like
Yeah,
they're
the
abysmal.
Jets are just not a good team. I'm sick of talking about the Jets. We know they're bad. But on back
Yeah.
on AR5, do you think that there's a chance, Max, that this was all planned? Maybe, like
No.
maybe you don't think so. You think?
No, they didn't want to bench him for 2 games. No. He played bad enough to get benched. I
Yeah,
bet
I
if
know.
they
I
were
know
like,
he
"Hey, can you do
played.
this every fucking game? Let's do it."
I know he definitely got benched because of his play. It was terrible. But my whole thing is like, you really thought that you were gonna have a better chance with Joe Flacco, like winning playoff games or winning games to
Not
get into
playoff
the
games.
playoffs?
I think you can make that case because there were times when he was out, they did win against Jacksonville. I get it. Jacksonville sucks, but their offense looked like kind of at their best.
Mhm.
This game was outrageous. This was such a good game, and I hope he builds on it. And it
Let's see
just
it
kind of
again.
shows, yeah, exactly. It kind of just shows, hey, Bryce Young got benched. He's played a little bit better. Still haven't seen like the number one pick. This game was like, damn, I saw it. Like I saw why you believed in this guy. Like unbelievable. And then he gets the touchdown to win the game. Outright, great game. Just I feel
Yeah.
so happy for the kid.
Yeah, I'm just saying maybe there's more truth behind it. We'll never know. But
Maybe he just needed to be humble.
yeah,
That's it.
exactly. That's
Sometimes he needs.
exactly what I was gonna say. Like, what if Shane Steichen just really said, like, we need to humble this kid. This motherfucker's calling to come out of the game. Like, he's playing like shit. We need to humble him. We need to show him the
Mhm.
reality of what it can be. So I'm happy for AR5. We're both AR5 supporters here on the podcast. So we want to see him succeed. And it was a great game. It was his best game ever passing. And I hope he builds on it. And that's why you go with young quarterbacks. Because you just gotta give him some chances, bro. It's like with Caleb. We're talking a lot of shit about Caleb, but at the end of the day, he needs the reps. He needs to be in there. Not no Tyson
And
Badgett.
I will say one more thing about Caleb. You have definitely seen the talent.
Yes.
It hasn't been like, oh, I don't see why they picked him.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to bring up this guy and just like shit on him a little bit. Like Bryce Young's rookie year, I was like, I don't even see it, bro. I don't see it at all.
Yeah.
But for Caleb and Jaden Daniels, obviously, and even Drake May, I've been like, oh, I see it. I've seen flashes throughout the year. Oh, especially, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Happy for AR5 though.
And a perfect case, and as I'm going to transition for once, fuck you. I don't care the order. Geno Smith, second round pick, forgotten about for 7 years. They wrote him off one, but what did he do?
He ain't right back.
No, he didn't. That was warmed my heart to see the Niners lose a close one.
So what's wrong with the Niners?
I don't know. They have an MVP at quarterback. You would just think they could get the fucking job done. I'm just saying. I don't know. What's wrong with them? Hey, CMC's back. Oh, Nick Bosa got hurt. MAGA. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. Here's what's wrong. You guys are banged up, which sucks. You're not as dominant on defense as years past. The pass rush is like, for years we've been like, damn, they got just waves of guys. It doesn't exist anymore. And again, you got banged up. There's no Javon Kinlaw, or not Javon Kinlaw, Javon Hargrave.
Bosa got nicked up in this game.
Yeah, I honestly think, I think Tre'Davious Ward's taking a little bit of a step back. Lenore, they paid big money to. I feel like that was a bit of an overpay, in all honesty. Fred Warner's still a stud, absolutely. And they just have this little syndrome of like, hey, let's fuck up the game. Let's make it way tougher than it needs to be. And, I would say this, Brock Purdy has looked pretty un-Brock Purdy-like, because he's an MVP candidate last few weeks.
I mean, the Brock Purdy the defenders are in full effect right now, because now it's a Kyle Shanahan problem. I don't know if you've seen this
over the
last few hours, but people are turning on Kyle Shanahan. They're saying Kyle Shanahan is doing a horrible job, and there's this thing where he doesn't let the quarterbacks call their protections. So
yeah, I've seen that thing.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I think it comes down to this. It's like what Max said. It's like it's a mixture of injuries, but it's a mixture of like letting teams just stick around. Like
they easily could have lost to Tampa last week.
Yeah.
Easily.
And to me, it's like I don't think they're doing a good enough job utilizing Deebo Samuel. There's no reason why Juwan Jennings should be getting more targets than Deebo Samuel. There's no fucking way. You need to throw the ball to Deebo Samuel. You need to get the ball in Deebo Samuel's hands. It's like get the ball in your superstars' hands so they can make some plays. And it's like, to me, that's what the Niners were so good at. It's like Deebo was like this X factor for them. Like that toughness. Where's the toughness on their offense? Especially with George Kittle out on this Sunday, it was especially missing. But it's like, where is it? Where do they punch you in the mouth on offense, Max? What is it? Fucking Juwan Jennings? Like, no.
And I'm sorry. I will say this. The biggest root of their problem is obviously they've been decimated by injuries, but they've been in enough games where they could have pulled some ones out that they've kind of shit the bed on. And like I said, they've lost a lot of depth over the last 4 years. They've been one of the best teams in football, and I think this is going to be an off year for them. I think they're in a dogfight to win the division. They might not win it. Arizona's good. Seattle's a pain in the ass. The Rams are on their way up. And I'm sorry, I just want to point one more thing out. your fucking quarterback isn't an MVP candidate. He's not a top 10 quarterback. This is kind of what happens. If you had Justin Herbert, you'd probably be contending for the number one spot.
Yeah.
It's just a reality. Sorry. I hate to be the guy to tell you after 4 years.
It's all Kyle Shanahan.
Pay him 60
Max.
mil. Pay him 60 million. Do it.
It's all Kyle
Deserves it.
Shanahan's
MVP.
fault. That's who it is.
I hate their fans. They're so annoying. They're like fucking Laker fans. I hate our Laker fans too, so don't think I'm biased. Eagle fans suck too.
Yeah.
Every team's fans suck. Like the ones who like Cowboy fans suck. Maybe Packer fans are good, but like, do you think Raider fans suck?
Yeah.
Let me refrain. Any casual fan kind of sucks just because, like, I shouldn't say casual, but there's just every little fan base, and this is the fan base, like, they're the most loud, the most vocal, who just talk shit about their team constantly. It's not casuals. It's just those people it's the people who say every year is their team's year.
Yeah.
They suck. And they're the loudest minority. And they just come out and they want to fire the coach when they believe in the quarterback. They want to blame the quarterback when it's the coach. It's just annoying.
Yeah. It is. Well, the Niners are...
Shout out to Joey.
The Niners are definitely in trouble. I think being 1-3 in the division so far, they lost to the Cardinals, they lost to the Seahawks, and they've lost to the Rams. So it's tough sledding, man.
All games they could have won.
Yeah, it's tough sledding. They need to get back on their horse. I have confidence that Kyle Shanahan's going to figure it out. And I do think he's going to try to get the ball into his playmakers' hands, aka Deebo Samuel. Give him the ball.
They're at the bottom of the division.
That's
at the bottom.
Crazy. That is,
and I mean they're one game back.
I know, but
it's not like it's
who they play next week?
Next week, they play. I think it's a division game.
Maybe they play. Do they
play?
They
play the Packers, and they play the Packers, Bills, and Bears. Ugh,
that's a tough. That's a tough schedule, man.
Yeah, and they're banged up. It's tough.
Like, we're gonna really see.
I said,
we're gonna see.
Like I said, their biggest problem's been injuries. Like I wouldn't blame Brock Purdy. I wouldn't blame Kyle Shanahan. I would just say this because I hear it so much. Brock Purdy is the most overrated player in that football, easily, not even close.
Yeah, 100%.
Followed by Gardner Minshew. But yeah, go ahead. Brock Bowers.
Yeah. I think that's it on my end. Did you have anything else to talk about, Max?
I have a surprise. For you. I haven't told you what it is. There's no graphic. I was watching the NBA. Well, we got Laker Corner after this, but I was thinking, I saw Paul George playing for the Sixers, and this is what is like 15.
Yeah.
How will you remember Paul George? And it connects. Like if I'm gonna say picture him in a jersey, what jersey are you gonna think of?
I think it's gonna be the Pacers, honestly. I think so.
But it's tough, right? You're kind of like, oh,
yeah, I don't really know.
Clippers. Like, where's his number going up? He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Nowhere.
Exactly. So I thought, who'd be a good NFL equivalent? So I have a few guys here, and I have more, but we don't want to do them all in one day. The first guy is a guy near and dear to your heart. So let's call this segment, How Will You Remember This Guy? Khalil Mack. Let me give you the stats. He played 64 games in Oakland, 53 games in Chicago, and he's on his 43rd game in the Chargers. He had 40.5 sacks in Oakland, won a Defensive Player of the Year. In Chicago, he had 36 sacks, and now he has 30. What jersey are people going to remember Khalil Mack, you think?
I think they'll remember him as multiple, but I think at the end of the day, they'll remember him as a Chicago Bear. Because I do think that was in his prime where he was his best.
He didn't win a Defensive Player. So to me, I was thinking that. I was like, damn, like he didn't win a Defensive Player of the Year there. But he had arguably the best game of a defensive end that we've probably seen in a long time.
Yeah.
First game of the year, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Like coming off the trade.
I think it's different. I think it's very different with football though, Max. Just because
I know it's very different. It's very different, but I thought it was an interesting conversation because most teams, especially now, but I mean, this is the thing in the NFL. It's becoming like basketball in terms of player movement. Like,
I mean, look at a guy
for damn sure, like who's a fucking good passer? Like Fletcher Cox never left the Eagles. Like, those older, like 10 years ago, players aren't moving like that. And if they do, they're being like, if Khalil Mack's on the Raiders in 2000s, he's not leaving until like the last 3 years of his career. You know that.
I tell you
You
this.
know he's never getting
I'll
out
tell
the
you this
building.
though. I know, like I'm not saying that to debunk what you say, but like look at Deion Sanders. What do we remember Deion as? We remember him as Deion. He played for the Cowboys, played for the Niners, played for the Falcons, played for the Ravens.
I think you picked the only person to transcend it because he was his own character. But how will you remember Randy Moss? What jersey? What jersey you remember him in?
The Vikings.
Viking. Okay.
Yeah.
What about T.O.?
That one's tough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of receivers on this list, but that was the first one. I just thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I would say Bears 2-1, as much as I hate to say it, because he didn't even play for Vegas. He played for Oakland.
Yeah, play for Oakland. It's just tough because even though he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year for the Bears,
So good.
Yeah, he was fucking really good. Like those first 2 years in Chicago, he was arguably better than what he was his Defensive Player of the Year in Oakland.
Yep.
Here's
You want the next guy, or you want anything else on Mac? Stephon Diggs played 70 games in Minnesota, 365 receptions, 4,600 yards, 30 touchdowns. Buffalo, 65 games, 445 receptions, 5,300 yards, and 37 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough with receivers. I think a lot of receivers are going to be on that list because they just move teams like fucking crazy. That's tough.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, look at, what do you consider Charles Woodson? I know he's played way more games for the Raiders, but
I would say Raider.
But there's a lot of people that consider him more of a Packer because you can
he
argue
won the Super Bowl, right?
And you can argue that he played his best football with the Packers consistently all those years. He was fucking crazy. But
so Diggs is like, I'm like, God, I think I'm gonna say Minnesota because he had one of the most iconic moments in NFL with that walk-off touchdown.
Yeah. It's tough. That's a really tough fucking conversation, bro. Like, what about Julius Peppers? Like, how many teams did Julius Peppers play for? He's a Hall of
Famer. Carolina, Bears, and Packers were the main three.
Yeah.
See, to me, he's always going to be it's a Panther. It's a Panther or a Bear.
It's hard. Sure. It's hard.
So you're getting away from the segment because we can add these guys on after the show and then we can talk about them. What do you think of Diggs? What do you think of Diggs? Close your eyes.
I think it's Vikings. I think it's that one's tough. I don't know. Yeah, probably Vikings.
This one's a little bit. I think this one might be an easy one. Tyreek Hill, 91 games with Kansas City, 43 with the Dolphins.
I think it's definitely the Chiefs.
Yeah,
the win.
I can't. You can't see him in Miami unless he wins a bowl or something.
Yeah,
because I mean he's probably going to play another 3 years with them, or maybe one. Who knows?
Yeah.
I had DeAndre Hopkins, but he played. How many games do you think he played for Houston?
50s.
110.
Wow, he played a lot. I was way off. Half of those fucking games.
I know. I almost want to check.
Yeah, no, I'll remember him as a Texan. Yeah, 100%. I'm overthinking that.
But his most iconic moment came as a Cardinal.
Yeah. In a regular season game, though, Max.
I know. No. Okay, this is a good one. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, he's not going to be remembered for no team. I think he's just going to be remembered as
bag.
Like Kirk Cousins.
A bag?
Yeah, okay. He earned himself a fucking bag. Who's equivalent to Kirk Cousins back in the day? 2000s or the 90s?
Chad Pennington?
No, I don't think Chad Pennington fucking sniffs fucking Kirk Cousins fucking jockstrap career-wise. That's a hard one, bro. Because obviously we got to pick someone that's like maybe
Jake
3.
Plummer?
What about Jake Cutler?
Jake Cutler's such a fucking punk. Here, let me go to the last guy.
What about Jeff Garcia?
No, stop. Jeff Garcia sucked after the 49ers. Let me go to the last guy. It's the last thing we'll say, and we'll go to Lake Corner. Matthew Stafford.
Oh, he's a lion. He's a fucking lion. Yes. That's like a Joe Montana thing. I know Joe Montana didn't win.
No.
I know Joe Montana didn't win with the Chiefs.
No. Stop.
Come on, bro.
Stafford played for them for fucking 15 years. If he gets another like 5 years with the Rams, or another few years with the Rams, and he won a Super Bowl,
I would always remember him as a Lion.
I
That's
will
like
too. But I'm
Brady. I
saying
mean,
like
that's not Brady. That's like fucking Peyton Manning.
he's a Bronco for life. 18,
I see him
won a
as a
Super
fucking
Bowl.
Colt.
Yeah, of course he's cold. Come on. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think that one's a little close because that Super Bowl kind of shifts it because you're like, damn, Matty Stafford won a Super Bowl.
Stafford been slinging it this year, by the way. 38. He's like
And he
38 years
absolutely is.
old, something like that. Old as
How
fuck.
about this? I'll throw a surprise one. Amari Cooper.
Cowboy? I don't fucking
I
know.
think so. Right? It's the Cowboy.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, that was a good
Okay,
segment.
that's it.
That was good.
I liked it. I'm glad. I was like, oh, that's interesting. NBA would be so much crazier because like fucking babies have to get traded
Yeah,
every year.
yeah. Guys are always fucking moving around in the NBA. All right, Max. Let's hit Laker corner. So the Lakers are what? 10? Have they won 10 games or 7 games? Something like that.
No, I think they're like 15 games into the year. I think. Let me see.
I think they've won about 7, 8 games.
9-4.
Yeah, 9-4. See, almost 10. They're 9-4. They're on like a 3-game win streak right now, I think.
What's this record with Darvin Ham? 6-7.
Yeah. I love what I'm seeing from AD. I love the fact that D'Lo got benched and he's still playing pretty well effort wise. Something that you would not expect. And the Lakers continue to hit on these fucking white boys in the second round. Dalton Connect is an NBA starter, my boy, which you just do not find in the NBA draft in the second round. It just doesn't happen. Did he go in the second round or the first round? I might be tripping. He might have gone in the first round. But I love Dalton Connect. Austin Reeves is playing like a fucking baller. Check out our Austin Reeves video if you guys never have. It's on the MJC Originals. He's playing more of a point guard role. I love to see it. I love to fucking see it with the Lakers, bro. They're going to be good. They're going to be a playoff team. I don't know if they're going to be like a championship team, anything crazy like that. But
I don't think we're going to be fighting for a play-in.
Wow, really? I think there's a
Yeah.
chance. I think there's a chance we still can.
I'll say this. I feel like 3 weeks out, we're not going to be like, damn, Lakers got to lock in it. They're going to get to that playing game. It's like, no, they'll be comfortably like between 6 and I would say anywhere from 5 to 8.
I am scared.
And I will say,
I am scared of the depth. I don't think we're that deep.
yeah, I'll say this. I think it was smart to bench
D'Lo
because our defense is so bad with those two. Austin Reeves isn't a bad defender, but he's small. There's only so much he can do. It's like when he had to guard Michael Porter. It's like, oh, okay, just shoot over him.
Yeah.
Right, no big deal. Second, I will say this. I think if Darvin Ham's coaching this team, we're a fucking mess because there's no leadership. The guys respect JJ.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is shooting threes finally, and he's doing a really great job at it. And just shout out to the Bucks, Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham. What a duo. They're like 2-11.
I think
my goats.
I think it's been super fun to see AD really, like, you knew, of course, everyone knew, like, AD is AD. I don't think he unlocked anything new, like fucking, oh my God, like he's unlocked a whole new level to his game this year. No, I think it comes down to finding that edge to him, finding that your why. Like, why are you doing this? You want to be the best player in basketball? You want to be the best player on the Lakers? And it seemed like he really did lose that after his first year with the Lakers, because his first year with the Lakers, he had a lot to play for. It's like, holy shit, I'm on a fucking great team now. I'm playing with LeBron. Like, we're winning games. I'm excited. I want this shit. I want it so bad. And then it seemed like when he won the championship, Max, it was like, I'm cool. I'm kind of good. Like, I don't really got much to play for, bro. And I really do think it just brings more praise to JJ Redick for bringing that hunger back to AD, because it's obvious he's done something to him. He's had some type of conversation with him saying like, look, bro, what do you want to be remembered as? Want to be remembered as the injured guy who doesn't really show that much effort and won the championship and kind of went away? Or you want to be the fucking best big man in the fucking league and dominate? And that's how he's fucking playing, bro. I love to see Anthony Davis aggressive, bro.
I do too. I mean, it comes down to coaching. Like, the NBA, I know there's X's and O's, but it's not like football. I think the biggest thing if I want an NBA coach is a leader of men, someone who gets the guys ready to play, constant effort, and someone who gets respected. That's what JJ Redick is. And on top of it, he's smart. There's easy buckets. It's not just like fucked up lineups all the time. He's smart. I love it. Shout out to Lakers.
And
Shout
a
out to
lot
AD.
of
Shout out to Braun.
just a lot of NBA teams, Max, don't do what the Lakers do. It's like, how often do you see teams run an out of bounds play? How often do you see teams run a set? How often do you see teams out of a timeout have a really nice, cool design, out of a timeout? The Lakers have that. I'm not saying they're the only team, but like, that's some Eric Spoelstra shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, it's a far cry from the last 2 years with Darvin Ham.
yes. And a lot of the NBA is like that, honestly. I'm just going to be real. Like, the NBA is very vanilla and like a lot of ISO ball, a lot of pick and roll, like simple high pick and roll with your point guard. We're going to dominate, 2-man game, whatever. Spread it out. That's a lot of the NBA right now. And the Lakers, they run a lot of unique shit. And it's obvious it's because of JJ, bro. It's obvious.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure it is.
All right. I think that's going to do it, Max. We appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed Laker Corner. Hope you guys enjoyed this fantastic week of NFL football. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like the video. Comment down below any thoughts, opinions that you guys have. You guys have been killing it lately. A lot of people liked our Charger video. A lot of comments on that one. So I know the Charger fans are happy about their weak ass team fucking winning on Sunday Night Football. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Max, any last words?
No, shout out to you guys for all the support, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next time. All right. Peace.